I want you all to become full members of the Foot.
Hey, what's up guys? Before we get started, just want to let you know, in case you miss it during the video, that me, Bobby Herbeck, and Kim Dawson, the two gentlemen in this video who were part of making the legendary 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, did a virtual panel together for ComicCon at home that you're not going to want to miss. They go into some deep dives talking about some very cool behind the scenes stories, and we have a great in-depth conversation. It goes about an hour long. They were gracious enough to stop by here on the channel though and just have a quick chat about the upcoming panel for ComicCon at home. They touch on the 30th anniversary of the film, and it's pretty much just a little taste of what you can expect from our panel, which will be Sunday, July 26th at 10 a.m. I'll leave a link down below for that. But let's waste no more time and get started with the video. Hey, what's up, Turtle fans? Today I have two very special guests here on the channel. Producer of the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, Kim Dawson, and writer of the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, Bobby Herbeck. How you doing, guys?
Hey, Chris. Good to see you again, man.
Good to see you.
Man. Considering everything that's going on,
Yeah.
above ground, we're good.
We're here to talk a little bit about a ComicCon panel that we worked on. And how did it come together? Was there any other plans for ComicCon? What's the deal with all that?
Well, there was a plan. We about over a year ago, I went to my first Comic-Con unsolicited to meet the lady that was running the show, Faye, and to plead our case that a 30th anniversary was coming up for Ninja Turtles, and we would like to have a shot at being part of it. And then that was July. And then I think November, I went back up and met Eddie and David, two gentlemen that are kind of run the show. Wonderful guys. Kim came in on the phone from Florida, and we did our pitch and what we thought we could bring to it and who we could bring to it. And remembering none of us at that time knowing that this world was going to be where it is today.
Right.
And with great enthusiasm, they were on board, and they just said, we'll get back to you. They wanted us to do what was that comic, LA Comic-Con, which is WonderCon, which is theirs.
WonderCon in Anaheim, actually.
Yeah. And we backed away from that one just because I was in the middle of moving and so on and so forth. But we were set. We were going to do this in San Diego. They even asked me to judge their film festival, which was, you couldn't say no to that. And that was 90 films I had to watch. Thank God when I first saw it, I said, I got to watch 92-hour films. But it was like 10-minute, 30-minute, 20-minute, and a few long ones. And it was actually kind of fun to see that people are shooting out there and kind of curious as to some of the stuff that they're shooting out there. Right. Kind of strange stuff, but
the original plan was to put together a panel of some of the turtles that people hadn't seen before, along with Brian Henson, and we had kind of a lot of discussions with a variety of people, including Leif Tilden and even Josh Pius. But as it turns out, with the COVID and the cancellation of the thing, that all went by the wayside, and we were able to celebrate a little bit with the 30th anniversary with that pizza party we had back in May. But the virtual panel that ComicCon then replaced it with is actually coming up this weekend. Rather, I think it's 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, right, Bobby?
10
o'clock Sunday morning.
10 a.m. Sunday. I'll call you, wake you up. 10 a.m. Sunday. Sam Rockwell was going to commit himself to the San Diego affair, and now that this has gone on, we couldn't even get him on the YouTube broadcast because everybody's locked in. We got Elias at the very end, which was cool. He's so cool.
Yeah.
But it was fun to see everybody on that show because there's people you hadn't seen in over 30 years. You know, everybody looked good.
Yeah.
Rest his soul. I think Raymond Serra is the only one who's passed on. But other than that, full crew was on board, and Kim and I and Brian Himpson, Dupree, the music. I think I may have told you the music. The guy who did the music for the film, I just discovered, did the music for Monty Python for 30 years. He's Eric Idle's music guy, and I watched the documentary on him. John's got some cred, man. He's with the Monty Python for over 30 years.
No doubt.
I love Monty Python. I thought that was very cool.
Right.
Is there any other plans you guys have for the anniversary of the Turtles movie coming up?
Leave that to Kim.
Well, you know, we've been talking with Warner Brothers and Fathom Events about doing a screening of the movie as a special event, and that may actually occur. We're still waiting for the theaters to open back up.
Right.
And once that happens, there'll be some form of an announcement. I got a call this morning from a group of people who operate outdoor drive-in theaters.
Oh, wow.
And one down here in Florida in Lakeland, and they want to do a screening of the Turtle movie in celebration of the 30th. You haven't even heard this, Bobby. And they want to bring Vanilla Ice up and have him perform with the guys in the turtle costumes. You know, Vanilla Ice, who did the second movie, tours with these guys occasionally. He made a music video recently that was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows, that may occur. And, you know, we're kind of just having to adjust everything to the COVID, you know, and react accordingly.
We're going to do some Comic-Cons next month, virtual, some more. I don't know. I think we're doing 3 or 4 of them. Offhand, I don't know which ones they are, but we're going to do some more, and we still have the year to squeeze out things. We're going to do a documentary on this film, what it took to get it made, and to this very moment, the documentary, the camera's still rolling. It's not over yet, the story.
That's right.
You know, I mean, this is, and without giving anything away, you know, the theme of our interview with you for the Comic-Con was that we just seem to hit, you know, closed doors or bumps in the road all through the process. Here we are with this COVID thing, another big bump in the road. We were so jacked to go out and meet the fans face to face, because we haven't done this. A lot of the cast members have, but Kim and I haven't, and go out and shake some hands and get some pictures with everybody. And the social media has been a blessing, because I wasn't into it until we got into this thing. And Craig Harriman and his team did a great job and got us out on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And the Instagram is the waterfall. It's the watershed of Ninja Turtle fans. So many great people out there that just love the first movie, and we got love out there.
Yeah,
it's going every day, because there's a count that tells you on the San Diego Comic-Con website. It tells you each day how many more people are signed up each day.
Oh, wow.
to watch this. And I don't know what Kim looked at it last, but we're almost at 1,000, which I think is pretty cool.
That's great.
So it's adding up every day. And of course, the 900 emails I sent out probably.
Well, you know, I think the actual Comic-Con, the virtual Comic-Con opens on Thursday this week, if I'm not mistaken. And they're, you know, they've got a schedule that's not unlike what it would have been if it was an actual event, where they have special events happening, you know, on a daily basis. So,
and we're hoping to do a book, some kind of a book, you know, maybe what I call a toilet book, sit on the pot, read a few pages, or do a coffee table book, from one end of the spectrum to the other. But
that'd be great.
Just do a little book, and just have fun with this. And we've got a website, we got a store now. We've got a bunch of merchandise that's lined up. Kim can tell you more about that, but we want to keep it going. We don't want it just to end like when the 30th is over. A lot of people say this year doesn't count.
If everything gets resolved, could you guys see yourselves doing something in a later year, maybe next year, the following year?
Well, sure.
Undoubtedly, you know, the franchise really thrived over the first 3 years, from 1990 and when they released the first film, and then the following year, 91, when number 2 came out, and then 93 when number 3 came out. And, you know, they're fans of each one of those. And I presume that that fan base, particularly with the help of companies like NECA, for instance, with Randy Falk, who's driving, you know, Randy Falk is such a huge fan of classic films, that NECA toys have really captured the essence of the first film. And, you know, I see this going on. The fans are still rabid for it. Like,
Yes.
you know, Chris,
Yes.
they still want to know more and more about how it happened and the players who were involved. So, yeah, I think that we'll continue on. It's been a blast for Bobby and I, even though we're separated by, you know, across the country. With Zoom and all this virtual stuff, it's really made life a little bit easier, and obviously safer in the context of not having to breathe everybody's air.
Right. No, makes sense.
What amazes me, this COVID thing has shown that I may have said this in our piece we did with you for ComicCon, that there's like a stream and it got dammed up, but somehow people have found, the water's found a way around it, and it continues at a different level in a different venue. And Zoom, nobody knew what the hell Zoom was several months ago. The average person knew what Zoom was. They thought it was a lens on a camera or something, right? And now it's like a lifestyle anymore. It's how people are connecting, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Not dead in the water here.
Speaking of connecting, a couple of the fans have asked some questions here. We knew you guys were going to come on. We did a post, and a few fans asked some questions. I don't know if you guys want to go through them real quick.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm kidding.
So this first one's from Connor Conman. It says, at what point in the process, and this is for both of you guys, did you realize that this movie was going to work?
Well, for me, it was when I saw, well, to be really honest, it was when Kim first brought it to me on the grassy knoll of the In-N-Out Burger, and then I kind of looked at what it was and went, God, just my instinct said, you know, I think this is something, man. And then I went to a screening of a rough cut at Goldwyn Studios, and sat with Tom Gray, who was our boss, and to see it for the first time on the screen, which is really cool, to go from the In-N-Out Burger meeting to that whole process, and then see Henson's make the turtles and then write the script, and then all of a sudden there it is on the screen. It's like the first time I saw myself on a movie screen as an actor.
Yeah.
You go, oh my God. So you're like, is this a dream? Is this really happening? The only thing for me is that just as it started and the lights were down, this person about the size of a moving van came and sat down in front of me with his son. And I looked at my boss and said, look at this mook sitting in front of me. Are you kidding me? And he leans over and says, it's John Candy. I said, oh, good. He can sit there. That's fine. I'm good. And Candy and his son was pounding his knees just when the credits came up. He was so excited to see this movie. I got goosebumps, and I got goosebumps and I just went, we're on to something. This is going to work.
Right. I think the process is a long process. It took us almost 2 years from the time we got the rights to the film actually getting in the can and edited. And it was early December of 1989 when I saw it on the big screen for the first time. I'd seen it in the edit room, but up until that time, I'd never seen it with an audience. We were in Las Vegas. I was there with Gary Proper. He was doing a show over at the Sands with the comedian Gallagher, and New Line decided that they wanted to have a screening of the movie to test it, which is oftentimes very common, where you test the movie right before it goes to the final edit. And in the event that you need to change anything or alter anything based on the feedback you get from the audience, we would do. So we had an audience full of, there were probably 300 people in the audience, and about 275 were kids. And maybe it was more like 250, because there were a lot of kids and only a few adults. And the the cards came back, the people who monitor these screenings hand out cards, and they ask questions, and they kind of facilitate this discussion. And about an hour after the movie ended, because in this theater itself, everybody was laughing at the right places. They were oohing and ahhing at the right places, and I was sure that it had done well. But when we got the cards back, it was in the high 90s, which is when that happens, the theater guys usually go, it's gonna be okay. And to that end, Mitch Goldman, who worked at Golden Harvest or at New Line rather, and Sarah Risher looked at one another and said, I think we're onto something. And actually, Mitch Goldman went over and ordered another 1,000 prints of the movie. I think it was scheduled to open on about 1,200 screens. And as it turned out, it opened on almost 2,200 screens. And the rest is history, because it grossed over 10,000 a screen, I think, and which gave it that $25 million box office. But it was that early December when Gary and I had never seen the movie together before, and it was like, oh my goodness, we did it. We actually made this happen. And with that, I think everybody was congratulating. But Tom Gray was still hedging his bet, right, Bobby?
Yeah.
Tom Gray was not certain until the very end, until he saw those lines wrapping around the theaters in New York City back in March of 1990. Did he really believe it was going to be,
Did you go and drive around when it opened to see crowds at all?
We had an opening here in Orlando at the AMC theaters down at Disney, downtown Disney. So
yes.
We had our own crowd. It was great.
Yeah. See, because the premiere was at Universal. So,
right.
And I mean, MC Hammer was there. My boys, I still have the picture. My boys were so young then with MC Hammer. Anyway, it was a great day. But then when it opened, I drove Westwood. I drove all through that corridor, Wilshire corridor and stuff. And even went up to the manager at the theater and says, hey, I wrote this movie. I just want to come in and listen. They go, what, dude? Really? What's your name? And anyway, they'd let me in. I just go and stand in the back and listen to the crowd. And then I go on, I took pictures of every theater. Tammy was with me. Right. And it was really cool because this was a first for me.
Yeah.
Right. I think that first week that it opened, I went to the movie like a half a dozen times at different times of the day. I went early and then later, and the crowds were, the early crowds were kids and their parents, but oftentimes the kids were dropped off and the parents went over to see Pretty Woman, which was in the theater next door.
Right.
But then late at
How
night,
dare them?
Yeah, I know. The late night screenings were all like college kids and late teenagers, because they were the comic book fans.
Right.
So with the marketing on it was really clever. They took it, they found both of those audiences, and that's what led to the success for sure.
I guess we'll just stop it there. That way, because there is some more that we dive into in the ComicCon panel. So I implore everybody to go check that out. I'll leave a link down below for that. And then did you guys want to let everybody know where this store is that you guys are launching?
Yeah, it's www.tmnt033090.com. So TMNT 033090.com. It has a link to our YouTube page and all that YouTube channel and that pizza party, but also has a store that'll be open up. So it should be a lot of fun. People will find
that date, the numbers, in case you haven't figured it, 03 March 30th, 1990. That's, you got to dig a little bit, but that's 033090. It's not a PIN number. That's not our PIN number. Okay? I want you to know that.
Yeah, and then I guess that wraps it up for this video. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. As for the fans, I'm sure it's safe to say that we all say thank you for making this incredible film. And to the fans, go ahead and check out our panel at San Diego Comic-Con at home on Sunday at 10 a.m. All right, we'll see you guys with another video. Take care.
Hey, bud, thank you.
Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.